let's talk about the squat. So squat, you want to think about this: getting in and out of your car, getting up and down like from a seat. If you're going to, like getting up and down off your couch, whatever it is that you're doing where you have to bend your knees and straighten your knees to get up and down from one position to another, guys, that's a squat. And so we do that every day. And so you get what you train for, as you mentioned earlier. So if we want to be able to make sure that, especially as we age, that we're doing things for activities of daily living, the prime movers of a squat should be your quads, which is the front of your legs, and your glutes. So the big house in the back. And you want to make sure that we work those primary muscles because they're extremely important in everything that we do. And it's kind of hard not to talk about a squat without talking about, when we're talking about movement, you got to think about gait, which is another movement pattern, and also the lunge. So, I mean, there's three right there that are fundamental movement patterns that all consist of working the quads, the glutes, having really good hip mobility and function. Plus, if you reach down to grab a piece of paper, if I'm left-handed, I'm going to reach forward. I'm going to grab the paper with my left hand, and that's a lunge. It's a lunge with a reach. If I go and I'm trying to get up off the ground, I have to go into a squat, then I sit down. And when I get up, most people have to get into a lunge type position in order to stand. And then guess what? A lunge is, it's actually walking, but not as exaggerated. All super
important. All, and you need, again, you need to expand your library, and having different variations of the same thing. So if you think about a lunge being, basically it's just an offset squat, right? So if we're squatting, the traditional squat as we might look at it, is just those 2 feet about hip to shoulder width apart, and those feet are going to be even, toes and heels are kind of parallel with each other, but with being hip shoulder width apart, and you're just descending those hips. And to descend the hips, you need to flex the hip, you need to flex the knees, and you have to flex the ankles. So to get a good squat, and you and I, Wendy, have talked about this in podcasts past, to where, even though we're looking at the hip and the knee, one of the underrepresented joints in the whole squatting motion is the ankles, right? So to have a really good squat, for all the things you mentioned, Wendy, getting in and out of the car, we go to the bathroom every day, hopefully, and you need a squat down there.